Hey guys, welcome back to my garage. This week I'm going to dig up some old video of bluing that I did. I did that about 6 months ago. Turned out really well. It's basically a tutorial of how to do it. This is the shift rod for the 911. Certain items you probably don't want to powder coat, but you do want to protect from rust. Bluing is a perfect option for that, so check it out. What's going on, guys? Just got my bluing kit from Brownells. They're like a firearm and hunting supply store online. This is what they sent me. This is Express Brown number 2. This goes on first. Then this is the actual coloring agent. This is Brownells Oxbow Blue. So this was $29.99 for this big one. This is a 16-ounce fluid container, and these are 4 ounce. These were only $4.99 each. So I've got a couple pieces like this. The shift rod, this is the steering shaft. It was originally black oxide. I thought, why not try bluing it? I kind of like the way the finish looks, and it looked like a pretty easy process from a YouTube video that I watched. So let's give it a shot. All right, I'm gonna do the shift rod first. I'm just taking some 000 fine steel wool and removing some of the surface rust that was on here. Once I do that, I'll clean it off with lacquer thinner, and then I will heat it up using like blow dryer or the Harbor Freight heat gun that I have. Get it kind of about 150 degrees, and then I'll apply the browning solution. It's corrosive, so it will form an immediate layer of rust. That's fine. You come back with more steel wool, and it's recommending 6 layers of the brown number 2. Once those 6 layers are on, then you're supposed to neutralize it, and after that point I'm going to use the bluing, which this stuff is more just for coloring, from my understanding. So after I do that, I do need to neutralize it in like a baking soda. Okay, so I have lacquer thinner here and a cotton t-shirt. And I'm just gonna clean the surface. It's important to wear gloves to prevent oil from your fingers getting on the work surface. A lot of crud on there. So we'll wipe this down pretty good, and then we'll apply the first coat of brown number 2. Okay, this is the finish. So far, this is untreated. Okay, I just returned from the sink. I rinsed it with soapy water, like Purple Power industrial cleaner with hot water. So now I'm just gonna heat it up. 160, which is good. Need a little more there. So yeah, we're getting close. All right, here goes nothing. It's about 200 degrees. Got my solution here. Got a leather glove on to hold it, steady it. Okay. I definitely see browning occurring. I didn't take into account that this glove is actually kind of dirty. So I think we need a cleaner glove to steady it with. Okay, first coat's on. It's cooled down a little bit, so I'm gonna heat it back up. Okay, so second coat of Express Brown number 2. This is the product that actually keeps it from corroding, my understanding. If you do the Oxbow Blue just by itself, that actually doesn't protect the metal or offer corrosion resistant. It's simply just to color it. Correct me if I'm wrong, you gun guys out there. All right guys, it might be difficult for you to tell, but to the eye, the brown number 2 has already darkened it up quite a bit and given it a more of a gun barrel appearance. I've burnished it a little bit with a 00 steel wool. I'm gonna take some more lacquer thinner, clean it off, and then I'll do the bluing. So you can see this is where the front bushing rides, and you can see the browning most evident there. I think the rest still had that protective black oxide layer. So where the layer was worn off by the bushing is the most evident for the browning, or brown number 2. So let's try the blue. I don't see any, I see hints of blue, but it is the first coat. It will kind of be a shiny, metallic-y blue. All right guys, about 6 or 7 coats in, it's definitely darkened up. I didn't do all that much prep work to this. I think, you know, any defects underneath are gonna show through. Just keep that in mind. I mean, it's with any other paint job, the amount of prep is what makes the final finish, determines how good the final finish is. So for what it is though, underneath the tunnel, totally fine. You know, the burnishing with the 00 steel wool just really kind of gives it that final gun barrel appearance. Yeah, it looks way better. Looks pretty cool. Gives me the confidence on this piece to move on to the next one. The steering column, which is a much more critical piece, or expensive to replace, I should say, if I screwed it up. So yeah, this looks good. I like the way it turned out. From my understanding, it will be protected now from the elements. I mean, as much as a gun barrel would be out hunting or whatever, they're designed to withstand all the moisture and elements and dirt and whatnot. So yeah, this looks nice. I like this. I could even go a couple more coats of the blue if I wanted, but man, this looks really, really killer. What do you guys think? All right, quick follow-up on this project. So you actually don't have to use both of those in sequence. The tutorial I saw on YouTube had you doing the process that I did, but you don't need to do that. They're effectively the same thing. They're both acids, and what they do when you apply it, it flash rusts the outer surface of the metal, creating a barrier that later will actually protect against rust. That's why you do have to use a baking soda bath after to neutralize the acid to prevent further rusting. It was this shiny when I was finished after I burnished it with the steel wool, and then I did also add a little bit of 3-in-1 oil, just a fine layer to protect it even further, but very happy with how it turned out. All right guys, if you need the products that I've used in the video, I'll include a link down below in the description of the video directly from Brownells, where I purchased it from. I think it turned out really well. Again, it's on certain objects, you probably don't want to powder coat them just because of close tolerances with bushings and other things. Maybe you want to retain the original black oxide look. So bluing, cold bluing as they call it, is a pretty cheap and easy alternative to powder coat on certain items like this. Thanks for watching guys, we'll see you next time.